Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everyone, wherever you are, and thank you for being with us today. Today, we start the series of the webinars, which is about the deploy a single source of truth in CRM, and the topic of today is codeless implementation practice. Prior we start, please drop me a line in the chat if you can hear me well. Please, someone. Okay, thank you. So my name is Dmitro, and I'm a VP consulting for Integros. And everything we do in Integros, we do with belief in challenging the status quo in CRM and customer experience management solutions implementations. We are joining industry's best practices with your and our experience, matching the CRM tools capabilities with a given IT landscape to find and implement actionable CRM innovations. A single source of truth about customers is one of such innovations. Having been implemented, it provides benefits from the CRM processes have got aligned and gives better user adoption. Just have a look at these numbers. Last summer, 80% of Forrester survey respondents called the single source of truth about the customer a significant or indispensable factor to ensure the seamless customer experience, and 43% defined it as a top challenge having complex IT landscape in place. To provide single source of truth successfully and ensure both positive customer experience and positive user experience, an IT team has to first implement data collection for the IT landscape, and second, represent the information that has been collected over in single source of truth. Performing these two steps could be fairly challenging for the modern IT teams due to their overburdened with operational tasks and face tight budgets. There is a solution for that. Look at these numbers. According to Gartner, in 4 years, 65% of application development would be done with low-code application development. The modern low-code approach provides rapid development, one-step deployment, execution, and management. In this context, the no-code is a statement implying that the platform requires text entry only for formulas or simple expressions, other aspects of application development being enabled by visual modeling or configuration. In simple words, when available, the codeless implementation enables integration design for known developers. The no-code, low-code development approach is of help if you need to implement data collection over IT landscape while dev teams overburdened. For the second step of data representation, consider combining the data from external systems and CRM itself in the form of the feeds of useful insights that are provided in the right context in CRM. The event management suite interface helps to benefit data collected from IT landscape, keeping CRM users on top of things and letting them to consume up-to-date information from CRM as from the single source of truth about customers. Let's have a look how two-step solution is applied to the company that has a complex IT landscape, employs, for example, Slack for customer support, Stripe for managing bank cards payments, and has other corporate systems in place. Sugar integrate virtualized APIs of source applications into unified data models, eliminating brittle point-to-point connection into application ecosystem. So the logic flow is the following. The external source application is either provide data on event originated in it, or Sugar integrate polls for new data via source application adapter. Then a simple Sugar integrate process instances forward the data to Sugar. In Sugar, the data is handled according to the logic has been configured visually with Logic Builder tool. The new information is represented in a single source of truth in the form of easy-to-read feeds of conclusions, the key events that let users aware of customer-related information, keeping them on top of things regarding the clients and therefore supporting generation of the positive customer experience. Now, let's see the Codeless implementation in action. That is my sugar. That is Sugar Integrate. More than 200 out-of-the-box adapters to the different systems. An awesome tool. So I employ a few adapters for Stripe, for Slack, for Sugar Cell. There are instances here. Here they are. And employ just one simple procedure to collect external data that consists of 3 steps. I will run this procedure for Stripe and for Slack. For that, I just create the instance and select Sugar, which is single source of truth, and event source, which is Slack, and name it get Slack data with no coding. Create instance. And one more instance to get the data from Stripe. So I'm selecting the single source of truth, which is Sugar, the source, which is Stripe, and name it get Stripe data with no coding. Create instance. Okay. Now I have 2 instances of the processes that should get data from Slack and put it into the single source of truth. The get Slack data with no coding works based on event. So whenever someone uses Slack to inquire support, this data should be reflected inside the single source of truth that the Slack channel is used for the support. Whenever some information regarding the company is provided in Stripe, for example, the account is mentioned in Stripe, created in Stripe, or the payment is created for that account. So this information will be pulled by Integrate and represented inside the CRM. So now I have 2 instances. Now I'm going to switch to my Sugar. So this is the example account, XYZ Funding Incorporated. Now I'm going to Stripe and add the new customer here in Stripe. Okay, new customer, XYZ Funding Incorporated. I'm adding it. And also I will go to payments and we'll add the payment regarding that company. So I make a payment, 5,000, a subscription payment, and mention the company as a holder of the card, create the payment. As I said, Sugar Integrate pulls this data based on the schedule. So if I go to the activity manager of the Sugar Integrate and switch to the job logs, you can see from here there is a scheduled event puller for the Stripe. It works each minute for me, so we'll wait for 1 minute. Until that, I will add, I will inquire support on behalf of XYZ company from my Slack. So I'm going to get back to Sugar, then I switch to Slack. This is Slack. This is the discussion channel where I would like to inquire support. So what I'm doing, I'm saying hello. I mentioned support. That's important because only these messages are taken into account for the integration. Hello, support. I'm looking for some help with new product A. Does it comply to product B? That's the question. So I'm sending this information. As soon as the information is sent, as I've said, the integration between Slack and single source of truth is provided by Sugar Integrate. It is based on event. So whenever I submitted the message that fits the criteria of mentioning support, there is a procedure here. So there are two procedures, two instances. Get Slack data. I can look at the executions. You see there are executions here already. So I can go to my XYZ Funding Incorporated account, and Dmitro Chupilka, who is the inquirer via the Slack, is a contact for this company. So making the inquiry regarding the support. I refresh the timeline. Okay, you can see here the message that I've sent via Slack. So a customer has used Slack channel to request support. This is the fact. And also you can see from here that information from Stripe is pulled already and represented on the timeline regarding the account. And you are capable to have a look at the details. For example, to open the Stripe record directly, open link in YouTube, and you go to Stripe to the corresponding record. Here it is. Here is the payment. And also the receipt regarding the payment is also, the link to it is also available directly from the single source of truth. Here is the receipt, 5,000. The same additional information works for the information that comes from other sources that are supported by Sugar Integrate. For the Slack, I can put here the direct link to the message, so that whenever I open this link, I go to Slack. Yes, it's opening. Open URL, and here we are at this message, and are capable to read the whole thread regarding the support. So that is how it works. There were no coding for that. I've done all this stuff for the configuring only. You can make it also the same way. So actually, to implement the demonstrated solution, I used for the step one, the Sugar Integrate, the cloud service, a manageable integration layer with more than 200 pre-built API connectors to configure trigger-based and periodical data exchange between Sugar and external system. I would say getting data from external system into the single source of truth inside Sugar. And Logic Builder, the cloud service from Sugar Exchange to configure data processing algorithms inside Sugar. If you'd like to know how to configure that in details, please visit our next webinar from this series. It will happen in 2 weeks. You're welcome. You will have the details how this was configured, each step of that. And for that step two, I used the data representation. I employed the event management suite interface for Sugar so that users could benefit external events in the form of tailored, easy to read, time-saving feed of conclusions. So now you have any questions, you're welcome. If any, please write into the questions pane if you have questions. Okay, so many attendees, no questions so far. Okay, how do you handle unstructured data? Okay, actually the data is structured. Let me show this. I'm getting back to my Sugar. The purpose of Sugar Integrate is to get the JSON data from one adapter and put it to another adapter of single source of truth. So if you go to Sugar Integrate, look at adapters, especially at instances of these adapters. So it works in a way, just connect to Slack, get the data in JSON format, and that pull it into the Sugar cell, which is single source of truth, in the form of JSON. So all the data is provided inside the CRM with a simple procedure, and it appears inside the CRM in a model that we call external data. So actually all this data are JSONs. All the other stuff, like population, this information inside the CRM, where I configure it in Logic Builder. So there is no coding at all. I use Sugar Integrate just to get data and put the data into the CRM because it supports the application-specific ways of integration. And then I manage it according to single source of truth CRM logic inside the CRM itself. I hope I answered your question. Okay, can we have complete documentation for end-to-end configuration of this integration, please? What do you mean by documentation? I just used the Sugar Integrate and add the new process here. This is very simple. Please visit the next webinar on 21st of July to have a look at the details of this process, and also the configuring has been made in Logic Builder. We're using Sugar CRM Enterprise application. Okay. Okay, I believe that is related to the previous question. So I hope I answered it already. Any other questions, please? Would this also work for non-JSON based integration? I'm showing how to use Sugar Integrate with Logic Builder tool to perform the codeless integration. If you use any other tool just to connect two systems and looking forward to the way how to populate data inside the CRM with no coding, you can use the tools to make it. Again, please visit the next webinar when we will show how it works in details. Are the adapters free or at the cost? Yes, of course, they are for the cost, because Sugar Integrate is a product from Sugar, which is based on cloud elements. So each adapter is for cost, of course. You can check with your partner if you have any about the cost of the adapter. And as I know, you can select which adapters you need, so no need to buy the whole Sugar Integrate. You just select the particular adapters, and that's how the cost is calculated. Please, any other questions? Thank you too. We already have an IPS platform. Can we use this without Sugar Integrate? Okay, so let's discuss, please, after the webinar, what is actually the task you have. And based on that, please inquire me directly. I will show my credentials, my contact details. Yeah. Yep. Okay, the info page. Okay, please write to the info@integracrm.com so that I can get back to you regarding your particular question. Okay, no more questions so far. Thank you very much for being with us today, and thank you very much for your questions. I hope this webinar will help your company to do business effectively in this challenging time. goodbye and good luck and good health to you and your beloved ones. Thank you. Bye-bye.